short, I'll work on it. We're going viral with the stewardship message today, so everything okay, Keith? All right. That means we're taking a video for people who aren't here today for the stewardship message. Yesterday, I was at a meeting for half of the day for the transition teams for our city minister search. And somebody came up to me afterwards and said, "Thank you so much for doing this. It's such a thankless job." And it gave me a really good idea about a fundraiser we could do. So we're going to have an auction, and the 5 highest bidders will never be asked to sit on the stewardship board. Do I get 500? Okay, so some people think I shouldn't make jokes about this because it's not funny, but you do have to maintain a sense of humor about it. In fact, it's not thankless at all. And I'd like to share with you just a few of the stories I got this week. A person who emailed me and said, "You might have noticed my pledge has gone down. My family lives in the Rust Belt, and it might be getting better here, but it's not there, and they need my help." Then I got an email from a person on fixed income who said, "I'll bring a check for $500 this Sunday." Then I got an email from a person who said, "My partner and I have discussed our pledge a lot this year. We increased it 4% like you asked us to at the beginning. We're going to have a lot of unknown expenses this year, and we just can't do more. But can you tell me how I can help around the church? Because I'd like to volunteer." The next one I got was, "Our year was better than expected this year. We don't really know our income until the end of December, and it's a $4,000 one-time gift." And yesterday, when I talked to the leadership teams about this, one man was so moved to increase his pledge that he did it sitting right there. And after the meeting, he came running up to me and he said, "Libby, I was really excited to increase my pledge, and I did it by $1,500, but I think I wrote $15,000. So when I got home, and I hope it's okay if I've been telling this story, but when I got home and looked at the pledge, it was actually $150,000. So I wrote it back and I said, "We'll put the decimal point in for it." So it's not a thankless job. You hear all these really moving stories. And I just want to say that I think I get most of the thanks, but the stewardship committee are marching soldiers behind this. So if you're here, I just want you to stand really quickly. John Reinbach, Betsy Baird, who's probably with the middle school kids, Bob Padoff, Laura McCutcheon, Tom Stires, and Bob Piles. So, please thank them also. Now to the numbers. So yesterday at noon I got an email that we had $18,000 new dollars in pledges. And then between that time and last night, it went up to $24,738. I don't yet know how much of that is matching because I haven't had time to figure that out, but you remember anything that's an increased pledge or a new pledge is being matched. So I'm sure we can count at least another $12,000 from that. We've had a very generous offer of $25,000 one-time gift. And we took a look at our budget, and we think it makes sense to back off our budget a little bit. So we believe that to the tune of $30,000. I wouldn't want you to think that we have a lot of fluff in our budget, so you should know that $18,000 of that was in the raises we were going to give staff, and $15,000 of that is in facilities costs. I also got really good news this morning that our 2014 budget probably is going to have surplus. So that's good for 3 reasons. One is we don't have to worry about last year. 2 is we may have some money there that we can put towards this year's budget. And 3 is it might mean there's some places we need to make an adjustment in our budget for this year. So, in any case, that puts us at $94,738, which is more than halfway to our goal. We have about $84,000 left. So, I told you before Christmas, when we were down budgeted, that I was going to give a one-time gift. It was the same as my pledge. Well, after I heard the story from a person about their family in the Rust Belt, I decided, I should make this a pledge, not a one-time gift, because there's a match. How can I give that up? My family's in Ohio. My sister was unemployed for 18 months. I was sending her money, but she's got a job now, sort of. So $9 an hour, is that really a job? I do, will it mean somebody else won't have to give what they should? We're not supposed to think that, but we do, right? What would it like to give this much money to the church? But I thought, well, let's try it out next year and see how it works. So here's the deal. You work in stewardship for 15 years, and you know what this, I know what this church can do. And we can do this. And we have to do it. And here's why we have to do it. Because we are not going to have a meeting in the next 10 days and tell any of our staff members that their job is no more. We're not even going to tell them that their job is half-time. It's not the right thing to do. And furthermore, after meeting with Jim Pence, who's our search consultant and is here today, he said, you can't go into this search with a huge budget. So we're not going to. But here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to fund our budget, and over the next 6 to 8 months, the Board of Management and the Church Council and the Personnel Committee will look at our budget and make adjustments so that next year we are looking at an adjusted budget that's not as high. But here's the important thing for you to know. The baseline for that budget will be based on your pledges. So we have to step up now to say, this is what we want. This is what we want it to look like here. Because I'm confident we can make this up with one-time gifts, but if our pledges aren't pushing the bar there, then, that will come out in our budget for next year. So I'm asking you to really consider your pledge and what you're doing. With that, I just want to say that on Tuesday or Wednesday, after you have a better sense of where we are, and after today, and after you fill out those little piece of papers in your bulletin, right, put them in the offering plate, or respond online, we may make some phone calls, and we might say to you, hey, could you help us with a one-time gift in this amount? And there aren't 3 people that we're going to call. We're going to call 100 people, because we have to do this together. And this is a multiple-choice question. I said this to somebody, she said, I'm going to be really worried until Thursday or Friday to see if I get a phone call. So I said, okay, here's the deal, it's a multiple-choice question. They're all right. Here's the first one. Oh, I just did that. Great. Here's the second response to that question, can you help us with this one-time gift? I'd be happy to do that this year. Here's the third right answer. Well, I'll think about it, discuss it with my family, pray about it, but I'll do something. And here's the fourth right answer. I am so flattered that you thought I could give this much money.